but we have got one shot to stop these fuckers, and I need your help.
Why?
Asking her to kill herself.
What are my nanofibers gonna do against them?
I can't tell you that.
You just want me to trust you?
Yes.
Hello everyone, this is Venus Brown, back again with another episode of Three Body Problem. Now that last episode was a lot. I am not the most religious person, and I have negative opinions about a variety of issues with religion. That being one of them, the ability to brainwash people to do your bidding, basically, because of faith in some higher power, and in this case, entities from another planet, their higher power. And I think earlier there was the girl that I thought might have been some kind of physical hologram or something. The way that she was using people's emotional stories to draw them in really bugged the hell out of me. But that is part of what is done for religious cults, to draw people in and keep them sucked in. Anyway, I guess it's time to get started with episode 5. This is called Judgment Day. Let's get started with the show.
Commodore Williams said I'd find you here.
Is there a problem, sir?
This your first command?
How much does this guy
That's
actually
what this is
get?
about.
Let me rephrase.
They said the
This is your
first
first
episode
command.
he was a third
Top
wheel.
man in your class at the Royal Naval College. Top man of the last 10 years, according to Admiral.
If you're headhunting for MI5,
I don't work for MI5. So what do you think?
what do I think about what, sir?
That.
Fastest destroyer on the war fence, best-in-class radar
I'm
system.
not asking you for the press release.
I think you're not my superior officer, sir.
I think I don't have to answer your questions. So,
Ask yourself why I come all the way to fucking Govan to find you. Talking to your commanding officers, your college instructors, and every other bud cunt you met along the way.
I'm flattered, sir, but I don't discuss highly sensitive naval operations with strangers.
Well, you could ask to see my ID, but if you ask, I'll know you're a sackless wonder like every other top Navy man I ever met.
May I see your ID, sir?
Yeah. When you're in the military, you're given orders. You're supposed to follow them, to a certain extent.
Bishop.
And security is very important for the military.
It was designed for 20th century conflict. It's too expensive for asymmetric encounters with non-state actors, too vulnerable to cheap munitions, and it burns 4,000 liters of diesel an hour. If you gave me £1 billion, I'd spend it on a few thousand aerial drones.
Why did you join the Navy?
UK military.
To defend my country.
US
What I
military or
need you
whatever.
for is far more important.
How do you know they're going to be nice? Usually, when people with more advanced technology encounter people with more primitive technology, it doesn't work out well for the primitives.
Where's the bad cop?
Watching. DeSanti told you this will be bad for your people, but you did it anyway. Why?
Our civilization is no longer capable of solving its own problems.
Was it ever?
They've got at least 10 undercover cops guarding us.
It's not enough.
Are you sure you want to be taking all those?
They're for anxiety.
I know.
I have anxiety.
I know.
Because people are trying to kill us.
But I'm sure they're not meant to be for anxiety or depression or anything like that. Generally are not something you're supposed to start and stop when you feel like it. Just take them regularly. When you want to stop taking them, you're supposed to taper them off so that you can do it safely. You shouldn't be taking them more than necessary.
He's on some secret mission. I see him one day a week. I thought I knew if it was Mum. She was like my sweet old auntie.
She's known us forever.
Yeah.
You're moving us around like with strings. What's the...
Puppets.
Oh, I forget that word.
Marionettes, not puppets.
I thought a marionette was a type of puppet.
We're gonna defeat the aliens.
It is.
Well, of course it sounds stupid when you say it like that.
But she was also at a loss for words, so expecting her to know the right word when she was
No,
at a
her
loss.
friend said puppet, which was the wrong word.
Until it's
but
safe.
Not really,
Well,
because a marionette is a type of puppet.
You're a genius, you don't know much.
Strings to be controlled.
More time with a good cop.
She's like, I've been here before.
You've been very cooperative. Why?
The Lord allowed you to capture me, which means I'm no longer valuable. All that matters is this. They are coming.
What about Evans? He's Vera's father.
In the biological sense,
You hid the truth from her. Why?
because she wasn't strong enough.
But to protect her? It didn't work out, did it?
Maybe you're not the good cop after all.
Maybe Evans told her.
She never met him. The first time he ever looked at her, she was in her coffin.
I thought I was a shit dad.
I'm sure you are.
Why recruit Jin Chong?
She could be the most capable physicist of her generation.
There's one thing we can't figure out.
Just one thing.
Takes 4 years for a radio signal to get from our planet to their planet. But from what we can tell, Evans spends most of his life on a ship. So what's he doing? Waiting 8 years for a callback? I can't make sense of that unless there is a faster way to communicate. Faster than light communication's impossible.
I wish I could show you what the future looks like.
20 quid, it won't be as glorious as you're thinking.
Ever have a DNA test? I have. You know what I am?
Half jackal?
European mutt. Boring as fuck, except for this bit. I'm 1% Mongolian.
We're practically brothers.
You know what these are, Clarence? Iron stirrups. Genghis Khan's army used metal stirrups before anyone else. They conquered the world. They fucked everybody. That's why I'm 1% Mongolian. You did a good job with the old girl.
In our mind, doesn't matter anymore.
If you were right about Evans, keeping a record of his communications with the Santee.
He kept it. It's like the Bible to him.
We need that Bible. We've got 400 years. We can't plan without intelligence.
Find out what kind of stirrups they got. We need to get our hands on it. We don't know how many people are on board, including kids. How do we neutralize everyone aboard the ship without damaging the data? Fun fact, did you know the Judgment Day just booked a slot at the Panama Canal?
So you got a spot. Gotta be trapped and get turned or anything.
Morale seems good, all things
I
considered.
still feel like
Everyone
these
puts on a
people
brave
don't
face
think
when
of
you're around.
themselves as
People are worried.
traitors
we
to
are.
humanity because
Some of them have got
they
loved ones in
think
prison.
that these aliens mean them well.
A moment like this is a great test of faith. Has your faith been tested?
The only one that really seems to know that
You always thought
they
watching
plan to
over
come and destroy the
unlike
planet
a mythical god
is
who's
the
conjured
older
up.
lady.
Our Lord truly watches over us. But the raid in England, Lord speaks with me every day. You think they would have allowed it to happen if they did not want it to happen? That is all part of the Lord's plan. Yes.
It's all part of the Lord's plan.
But I continue to serve you. We continue to serve you. We never lied to you, Lord. Please speak to us again. Please, my Lord.
Devastating. My Lord and Savior.
Oh, it's a good one, this one.
Holy shit! Why would you sneak up on me like that?
Figured they give you shit 2 weeks.
Did you find the bitch who killed Jack?
Not yet. Keep their secrets locked away in a big ship. If we're gonna get our hands on them, need you to resume production on the nanofibers.
What?
Do you want justice for Jack?
Yes.
Out to get
I'm
it.
just asking you to go back to work.
Oh, that's easy for you to say. They didn't plant a time bomb in your brain.
You're scared. You're right to be scared. But we have got one shot to stop these fuckers, and I need your help.
Why?
Asking her to kill herself.
What are my nanofibers gonna do against them?
I can't tell you that.
You just want me to trust you?
Yes.
Asking her to sacrifice herself in like a minute. Because that's what it looked like to me.
He's there with the special forces to try to protect her, to see if he can protect her.
Right, he thinks he can, possibly, but
I mean, the others did.
it's like such
kill
a fucking
themselves.
huge risk.
Can't smoke in here.
Oh dear, I'm in trouble.
From what we
It's not
saw,
gonna help.
better than that girl,
Those cops outside aren't gonna help either. You know that, right?
Aliens didn't kill Jack.
well,
Oh my god.
the ones
I
that
need
we
a drink.
I need a drink.
very just
So he puts out a drink.
What is it?
Whiskey.
It's nasty.
Can't afford the good shit.
She's like, don't care. I need it. Needed is relative. That's fucking terrifying. Are they gonna be like, we're gonna let this go because we no longer trust your species or something? Like,
just wait.
think the Lord stopped protecting his flock?
Women have been handpicked. You're the finest engineers that mean shit to me.
From a Dubliner in civics.
You have 6 days to complete an engineering project. There'll be no medals, no public recognition, no glory. But the next 6 days are the most important ones of your lives. Do not fuck it up.
He's a real prick, isn't he?
Who says he's real?
I think it's weird that he chose Jin's boyfriend to lead the mission.
Everything he does is weird.
This is weird.
How come you don't have to go?
Not my skill set.
I don't know that I see him as a real prick.
Yeah, it makes
More
him
like
low,
he's
puts his
just
wife
being
off a
straight
cliff.
up with them.
No, I did it.
And the vanity of getting rewarded and recognized should be within your own self-knowledge that you did something important. You don't know what the fuck it was.
Oh, hey, Saul. Hey, strange person.
Hey, bud. How you doing?
Good.
I'm Selwyn Pugh, solicitor to the estate of Jack Rooney.
I'm sorry to bother you on holiday.
It's rather urgent, given the scale of the bequeathment.
Is that a real word?
It is.
Yes.
Sorry, I'm super high.
My client,
The late Mr. Rooney has left you half of his estate, almost £20 million.
Which is a lot, because pounds are more than dollars.
once the forms are signed and sent back, we'll just need your guidance about where to deposit the funds.
He is just like,
I'll make sure he signs everything.
"Ooh,
Thank you.
what good is it to
be
get
on my
this
way
good
then.
to me?
Thanks.
Die. But then you'll be able to pass it on to whoever the heck you think should get it. Even if you are high as a kite.
Shit.
You want it?
You want it.
I think you know what Jack would have wanted. Find the latest treatments.
Too late
Give,
for all
give yourself
that.
a shot. How do you know it's too
I've
late?
got a second opinion, Saul. I'm not a fucking idiot. Spread too far.
Sometimes you gotta just.
The time I've got left, I don't want to just.
That's when, like, look at the sky, you know? Eat some good food.
And it's
Weeks before it all gets too rough.
I get it. I do the same thing.
Are you hungry?
I'm starving.
You know, there's a Cornish pasty shop just down the road.
Good food.
I love Cornish pasties.
We could buy 5 million if you want.
I don't think you need 5 million for pastries, but okay.
Once the fibers are at full tension, we can retract the sheets.
All on track?
I wonder if that means
26
that
hours for
none of
Judgment
them
Day.
have that countdown going on anymore.
Well, it should.
That's what I would
It
think.
sounds like.
You good?
I'm fine.
Good, 'cause that sucks.
I'm not sure if this is Commander Barnes' forte. Double check his work.
How many people are on board?
We don't know.
Is there any way that we can warn him?
You know how many people died building this canal? Nobody does. Between 5 and 20,000. Malaria and yellow fever got most of them. Landslides, dynamite accidents, and drowning. But those poor fucks kept digging until it was done. And which do you think is more important to the human race? A canal or defeating an enemy coming to our world to take it for themselves? I don't trust her. Triple check all her work.
Don't trust her, triple check all her work.
How many people are on that ship?
I don't know,
Just give me a guess. You don't know how many people we're going to kill?
but I know it's important. They wouldn't have sent us
They?
all this.
Who's they? Wade? Who the fuck is Wade? Telling us to kill people we don't know for reasons that we don't know. And you're just like, yeah, cool.
He did just like feed her all
I'm
this
not like
stuff
you.
about how devastating that
I didn't sign up
was,
for this.
building the Panama Canal. And then right
You
after he
understand
did
this
that,
stuff better than
told
I do.
him that she's not trustworthy.
You're
You need
military.
to check on her.
So what do you think is happening?
Your point.
It's like
think
he
we're at
intentionally made her react this way so that he would question whether she is.
He told her that because of her question. It's like a cruise ship. Converted oil tanker. Yeah, I think that's the same ship. They showed there was an oil tanker before as well. Not like that.
Right.
Maybe this is just a different boat.
Well, they're.
Definitely watching it.
Let's go.
Charlie, Charlie 1, all call signs go. okay?
Sometimes you have to allow people to do things that you don't trust.
I don't see how cutting up the ship would not damage the data anymore. It's not there.
It's not working. Why isn't it working?
It is.
See it yet?
So that would be terrible. Yeah, kids up.
What was...
No. Did we schedule a fire drill?
We're under attack.
Yeah? You could say that. Dude, just let it in, because that's gonna be less painful than what you're doing.
I need to hurt you about that.
Forgive me, my lord.
It's weird that it's coming down the way it is.
It also feels like the people all like instantaneously got cut into pieces, whereas the ship went slowly.
Yeah.
How did you expect that not to destroy the data? Did they just drop the water out of it inside the helicopter? And now the bucket attached to the bottom?
Congratulations, Dr. Salazar.
Yeah, I'm sure she feels so happy about what she just did. Who's still alive? Or is anybody still alive? God, it's such ass shit. You gotta know when you do something like that, it kills everybody, including the fucking young and innocent.
Yeah, she does know. That's why she just
Wasn't ready to see it.
Mr. White, come on, we found him.
If you wouldn't grab that drive out of it, we wouldn't have found it. What the heck?
Still nothing?
It's only been 2 weeks.
Only?
I told Wade, he wouldn't listen.
How long's it going to take?
Assuming quantum encryption 20 years ahead of ours, 3.8 trillion years.
Don't fuck about.
Could strike it lucky, 3.8 billion years.
You could crack it open. It's worth fuck all if you can't get out what's inside.
Brute force cryptography just isn't gonna...
Cracking it open could very well break it completely, so you never get it.
It's open.
It reforced it.
You didn't do anything. It opened because they want us to see what's inside.
Exactly.
28 gigs of text and media files?
Isn't that less than my phone?
Maybe not your phone.
Forcing is what I think it
What about that?
technically be possible to get it right instantly. It's
It's 100 petabytes.
I
don't know what that means. It means 100 million gigabytes.
It's more than we have.
That's more than my phone.
No.
Sound it made. Oh, like God's fingernails scraping his chalkboard. Anyway, sorry for your loss. Well, it seems like he wasn't much help around the house. Organization to get our hands on you. Did they let us do this too? Why would they let us destroy their ship and kill your boyfriend?
I know they're coming to save us from ourselves.
Be careful with what you know. I know some things too. Oh, right. I did just say be careful with that.
You're here to shatter my belief, but it's stronger than you are.
Faith's good. I have faith that when they get here, we're going to wipe them out.
Your faith seems even more ridiculous to me than mine must to you.
Goes back to what I know. Like, why did they let us destroy their ship and arrest you?
What crime have I committed? What is that?
Oh, this? Oh, this is what we're going to have for Judgment Day. Shakespeare never worked half this hard for a bit of dialogue. It's a recording of the conversations between Evans and your lord. Here, have a listen. Be careful with what you know. That's where your troubles begin.
Say anything that you know to be false? Can't you lie? Yeah, we all do. Sometimes.
A liar is someone whose words are false. We cannot coexist with liars.
My lord, are you there?
Hey, this is Raj. Leave a message.
Oh, what the fuck? What are you doing here?
Picking you up.
What for?
Most people would be flattered that the boss came to pick them up for work.
You're not my boss.
Most people would be freaked out if the boss just showed up at your house or wherever you were to pick you up without any
Amanda Verma tells me to understand higher dimensions.
Nobody really understands that kind of thing. Our brains evolved in 3 dimensions, not 10. To the extent we are capable of understanding them, yes, I do.
Last mission leads us to believe we may be in need of this kind of understanding.
And I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Where was he?
You're very pushy.
I'm pushy.
And repetitive. Maybe you shouldn't be working for me after all.
I don't work for you.
Okay, you're the boss.
Why do you want to know about high dimensions?
They want to show us something. Anybody seen this yet?
No, sir.
At another level of the game,
Could be.
you prepare yourself for something very strange.
I've heard that.
No, I mean very strange.
How do we get it started?
There's these little bits of teasers
That's it.
that
You said they want to show us
every
something?
now and then, like,
If they want it to work, it'll work for us.
Jesus, fuck.
Yep.
How do they know what we're wearing?
I don't know.
makes me wonder how much of this stuff was controlled by the technology the humans were using that were running that whole Judgment Day thing versus technology controlled solely by the aliens.
An AI.
They look like us?
We don't look anything like this.
What do you really look like?
You wouldn't like it.
Why did you bring us here?
To tell you that we're
We
doomed.
see all kinds of things we don't like.
How long will the fleet take to reach Earth?
400 years.
That's why we're doomed. How long did it take you to discover agriculture? 90,000 years to get from hunter-gatherer to farmer. How long did it take you to become industrialists?
10,000 years.
Atomic power.
200 years.
The information age.
50 years.
And how long do you think it took us to get from hunting to farming?
A lot longer. Our planet is stable. Our catastrophes aren't really catastrophes. We've never had to start over. But they do, every time they get wiped out.
You will have long surpassed us. You will destroy our fleet and then destroy our world to make sure we never threaten you again. It is a funeral procession.
Unless you figure out a way to disarm us. Have you?
We are going to kill your science. We will do it with our Sophon. It's a proton, one we have turned into a sentient computer.
It's impossible.
For you. The universe has more dimensions than the 3 we occupy. They are hidden, folded up far too small for us to see. We have the technology to unfold them. We summon energies you cannot imagine. Focus them on a single proton. When we unfold its higher dimensions, even a tiny proton becomes something very large. We make a mind as large as a world. I understand my purpose. I am ready to return to my original size. Proceed. We used all our resources to make 4 Sophons, connected on the quantum level. 2 remain with us. The other 2 we've sent to you. Everything they see and hear, we see and hear at the same time. They entered your solar system months ago. We sent them to the places where your best minds explore reality, and we will destroy the science that could defeat us. The answers to your questions will become chaotic and meaningless. The universe will remain a mystery to you forever. In place of truth, we give you miracles, wrap your world in illusions. We make you see what we want you to see. Always watching, learning all your secrets. We'll teach you how to fear again.
Took you that long to freak out about this. No. The Buddhists are using cell phones. Where bullets? So, it looks like she at least got a little leg wound from her great escape.
Yeah, you shot her earlier. That's why she was crawling.
Did you say Mom's a different creature?
Yes. So do the talking part. I'm waiting for Zach.
Okay.
What do you think is happening?
I think we're at war.
Wait a minute, did I go too far?
Episode 5, we knew from the time we outlined it, was going to be the biggest episode by a long shot, with 2 really big set pieces in it. It's explosive, but it starts quietly.
You're the good cop.
Depends who you ask.
Where's the bad cop?
Watching.
For this interrogation, it's fun sort of watching a little bit of the cat and mouse game.
What about Evans? We're right in assuming he's Vera's father.
Only in the biological sense.
There's a real dance that happens between both of them, how they're making their plays with each other on such high-level stakes, really. So you tried to protect her, but it didn't work out, did it?
I think most people by this point have sussed out that Vera was probably Evan's daughter, but it just makes you realize the things they're willing to sacrifice. He'd never seen his daughter before. He saw her lying in her coffin. That's a pretty intense revelation delivered in a pretty matter-of-fact way.
Maybe you're not the good cop after all.
Again, we're talking about good guys and bad guys and how hard that is to figure out.
It creates a interesting moral dynamic for the viewer that the most violent, horrific thing that we do on the show is done by ostensibly the good guys.
You have 6 days to complete an engineering project. When you've succeeded, there'll be no medals, no public recognition, no glory. But the next 6 days are the most important ones of your lives.
The Judgment Day sequence in the book was one of those ones that we talked about before, where you just think, oh man, I really want to see that on screen, see it done right.
For something as epic as the Judgment Day, it began with months and months of prep. And I think everyone just expects that you're just going to all do it in post, in VFX. And I guess maybe I'm old school, but I wanted to keep quite a bit of it in camera as well.
Why isn't it working?
It is.
We had to figure out exactly which things were going to be added in later with visual effects. The massacred people were added in later, but up until the point when they get sliced and diced, they're human beings. You've never seen it before, and when you're imagining it kind of vaguely, and then you get into the details of what you're seeing in any given shot as this is happening, it helps to sell horror of their decision.
It's terrifying. It's utterly terrifying.
They're telling us to kill people we don't know for reasons that we don't know, and you're just like, yeah, cool.
Everyone in the show is grappling all the time with the question of, in a wartime situation, how far will you go? what human costs are you willing to incur to achieve your objectives? We see our characters, more than anything, they define themselves against each other by the different ways in which they react to this question, what is worth it and how far is too far.
Whereas Augie is horrified. Wade is definitely a ends justify the means sort of guy.
Break a few eggs to make the omelet sort of a guy.
He knows what the job is and he knows what he has to do to accomplish that job. He has a certain morality. With possibly a small m. Anyway, sorry for your loss. Although it sounds like he wasn't much help around the house. I love Thomas Wyatt. In my mind, he's a good guy.
It was like he wasn't.
We summon energies you cannot imagine and focus them on a single proton.
Sophons explaining a concept, that no one has ever heard before, of creating a supercomputer within a proton, exploding it into a bunch of higher dimensions, shrinking it back down into a three-dimensional object, and then shooting it off into space so that it could wreak havoc on Earth.
We are going to kill your science.
We tried to boil it down to the bare essentials of quantum entanglement, which is a real phenomenon. But everything that's been happening to everybody has been happening because of these things. It's what makes everything possible. And it is also the key point going forward, the answer to the question, why does this matter? Like, they're not going to be here for 400 years. That's not actually true. They're here now.
In the books, the "you are bugs" message appears in everyone's field of vision, which would be tricky to do on screen. So in this hyper-technological world we're in, having it appear on every surface and screen, it seemed like a really dramatic visual way of representing the same thing. You see that incredible performance on Roz Chow's face, where everything she believed in has fallen apart. Yet another betrayal in a series of betrayals in her life.
And just when you think, I can't take it anymore, you're pummeled again with another crazy sequence.
Once you see the eye in the sky, it's hard to deny that there is a superior power out there that is coming for us. And then you see Marlo give that great smile.
You write something like laughing and crying at the same time, and then Marlo comes up to you and she goes, normal people don't actually do this. I'm like, well, this is where your ability to be a not normal person between action and cut are gonna really come in handy.
To her, they aren't just an idea or aliens, they are the Lord. So she is a devout follower of them in an almost religious essence.
Right.
We felt like
She said that
if the aliens are going to announce themselves to everybody in the world, they're going to want to do it in a way that shocks people into submission. Letting everybody know in a really visceral way, there's something out there looking at you always, and it does not mean you well. It's a psychological aspect to that. I think both for the people in the show and the people watching the show, it helps set the stakes of what's going on.
This is a lot. It's a lot. And I haven't been taking breaks between each episode. There was one break that I did at the beginning, but I really want to watch some of the other reviewers do reviews on this, reactions to it, and see what they say. That's part of why I do reactions. I just like doing that, especially with heavy, complicating stuff like this. I want to take a break between episodes and listen to the reactors, listen to what they have to say, and see their reactions. But I wanted to also do that myself, do reactions myself. But since I'm not taking breaks between each episode, I can't do that. But man, what I think I will do is that while I am doing the editing week to week, I will go ahead and watch reactions between each episode that I am editing, because this is really a lot of stuff. So many ethical quandaries and moral quandaries. But that is all I have for you this week. I will see you next week. Until next time, I'll see you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.